Welcome back, gang, to Chapter 2 of Saving Our Silverado. We're back to working on the axle, and it's been just a minute since we actually have worked on it. If you watched the video from before, it was, I think, 90 plus degrees. We were sweating, dying, and now it's the middle of winter, and this has actually been the warmest day since late December. And if you could tell by us working on this thing, it has been a while. Let me show you just a little bit closer what I'm talking about. All right, Matthew's back to spinning the gears again. I think this is his favorite part. I don't know if we should put it back in the truck or if we just let him spin it around.
Oh, we can leave the old one on the stand, you know.
And just spin it for kicks and giggles.
It's just fun to watch the spider gears work, you know.
Okay, well, as you can tell, folks, it's been just a minute since we've worked on this thing. It was all nice and shiny in the last video, and look, just a little bit of dirt here. So look at this right here. Look at this. So Matthew, I have a present for you. So before we can get working on this.
Do I know about that?
Here you go. Time to dust off the axle. Go ahead, dust the axle.
You really think you're funny, don't you?
Got to dust it off. I mean, we want it to look nice and shiny again before we get started. Go to the next level.
Where'd you even find this?
All right, folks, we'll be back in a few minutes when he's done dusting this stuff off and making the axle look good again. So where we left off with this thing is we need to pull the axles out, and we're going to replace the wheel bearings. We think that they're good. I mean, there's nothing that tells us that they aren't good other than they've been in there for 30 plus years. And so since we have it this far apart, we're going to go ahead and take the axles out, replace the wheel bearings, and then, of course, we're going to help me twist this back, Matt.
It's going to leak oil.
That's okay. We're just going to get it up there enough for the camera. So we're going to go ahead and replace the seal here on the pinion and put this back together too. And then, of course, get the axles back in there, put this back together, put the cover on it, and then this is basically ready to go underneath the truck, which is what we've been waiting for all this time. So wish us luck.
For 8 years, I think, actually. 2017, I think.
Yeah, but it was the summer, so we're not quite at 8 years, but we're getting there. So before this turns into summer again, this guy here would stop going to college, we could maybe get some things done. But anyway, we're glad he's going to college, but maybe it'll help pay for all this one day.
That sounds like permission to me. Is what that sounds.
Permission to what?
Yeah, you said stop going to college.
No, if he just finished college, okay? If he just finished college, then we can have more time on the truck. But we have a goal. We're not going to release it here, but we have a goal. We're going to take this truck on a road trip. Right?
Okay, you're just going to keep it vague so that we can't fail?
Let's just put it this way. It's going to be west of the Mississippi.
Now you've doomed us.
Alright, so we have the axles out. They're laying here on the ground now. And we are ready to pull these seals out and these old bearings, which they seem to be okay. We may take a closer look at this real quick and see if we're going to actually take these out at all. We may leave the bearings in there and just replace the seals. That was the right side over there, and this is the left side over here, and these seem to be pretty good. But we're looking for the seal puller right now. The next thing we're going to do is pull these seals. All right, folks, here we go. Be pulling this seal out, hopefully. Get it lined in there and not gack this thing. Work it around. It'll eventually, if you don't pull the whole axle, stand out of here. Now the axle wants to go down. All right, we're getting somewhere. Come on. Come on, Jezebel. Make sure you're getting that metal. If you're only getting the rubber lip, it's not going to come out. Get them. Bing! There we go, folks.
Did that hit your camera?
It did.
Good shot.
I know. Here we go. I was trying to see what's on here. It's kind of hard to read. This is the original seal. Actually, doesn't look too bad. Well, yeah, of course it looks bad now that we pulled it, but
circa 1978 should be.
Should be. And looks like it might be too, but yeah, this is dry rotted around here, so this was definitely going to leak on us once we put it in. So it's a good thing we got it out. So let's go ahead and get the one on the right side and then check these bearings out. All right, round two. Matthew's now a professional at this, so he's pulled the one. Look at that. Came out, no problem. Now we're going to take a closer look at these bearings and see if there's something there that we've got to do.
This is almost so good you could just about put it back in.
Yeah, let's not say we did. All right, so one thing we've discovered on here is it looks like we've got a replacement wheel bearing here. This one, as you can tell, the bearings themselves potentially look smaller, or this inner ring right here. Matt, show that flashlight right on there so I can show the people. This inner ring here is missing on that side. Let me show you real quick. Come over here, show that flashlight on there. So, love how those flashlights go off after a minute. So that inner ring that would hold these bearings in place is not really there, or this is a different type of wheel bearing altogether. So
I say we replace.
I say
both.
we are going to replace these now at this point, because I want to make sure we've got two of the same, and we do in the replacement kit. Plus, definitely we've had a wheel seal replaced in the past, and Matthew is going to show us how we know that. Okay, so we have our two seals
that,
here.
To me, says automotive parts store with that part number there.
Yep, take a look at that. So it looks like we've got that, and maybe this is still the original.
And I think, actually, we may know when this was replaced. If that indicates the year there, it might be 1990.
That might have been when it was manufactured anyway.
Well, we're close, if that's what that means.
And if we look at this, look, they are two different. Look at, you got this rubber seal here, and look, you got this one with no rubber seal here.
True.
So we've got two seals that don't match, and we have two bearings that don't match. So I'm glad we went ahead and checked that out, and now we're going to go ahead and replace them with matching bearings and matching seals. All right, we've got our slide hammer set up with the bearing puller attachment, and we're going to go ahead and time lapse and pull these bearings on each side. I'll tell you folks, it's amazing when you have the right tool how quickly things happen. So this was obviously the right tool. Let me get over here. This is obviously the right tool for the job. So when I had this slide hammer before, I thought I had every tool I needed to get the bearings out of the axles on my Ram, and I was obviously using the wrong tool and still got a result. But this came out so quickly, I don't think we needed to time lapse this at all. We could have kept it on regular time and made ourselves look really good. Now we got a little bit of something in here we want to show you real quick. We found right in here, look at what's sitting right there on the bottom. So we might have a little bit of debris here. We're going to go ahead and get that, feel what that is real quick. Oh, it just kind of dissolves. So maybe it was some old grease or something. Look at that. It just sits right there on my finger, but I tell you, it's squishy in between there.
I don't see sparkles, do you?
No, I don't see anything. Get the light down in there a little bit better.
It's going to turn off any second.
Yep. Okay, so we got a little bit of debris to clean out of there, but overall, I can see from end to end, and it's looking really good inside. I'm telling you, this is a really underused axle for the age that it is, so it clearly sat on a farm truck that didn't have many miles on it. All right, so we have our slide hammer set up again as a bearing tool. And we're going to go ahead. Where did my little part go there to hang on to it with? Oh, there it is, the pin right down there. It's on the floor in front of the axle over here.
Oh.
Yep. That's the fun part, keeping up with this stuff right here. All right, so we're going to get this on here. Going to pull our second bearing, and we did it so good on time lapse. We're going to see if now we can do it in regular time. Wow. Wow. I have to wonder if that bearing was the right size bearing. It came out way too easy. Holy crap. All right, well, we're going to take this off of here and compare these two bearings and just see the difference, see if we can figure out the differences. Now that we have them side by side, we can certainly see the differences between these two. Look at these things. These are completely different. Matthew notices there's no stampings on this one whatsoever, so I don't know, would that be the factory part? Or would this be the factory part that says made in the USA? What is that name on there? Can't even, oh, that's a part number. JH16. So I guess that's a replacement part there. But look at the differences in these things.
Could be a genuine AC Delco part.
And look at the bearing count. There's more bearings on this side than there are on this side. Wow. Well, and Matthew also surmised earlier that since this was a farm truck, who knows where they got the parts from? It could have gotten it from a, what did you say it was, a farm store?
No, I was saying it could have been just Western Auto or something.
Or Western Auto, yeah. Blame it on Western Auto. They're not here to defend themselves anymore. But anyway, two completely different bearings in this axle. And I guess with it being a farm truck, that probably didn't matter too much. But to have this back on the highway and not to have the right bearings and matching bearings, who knows how long it would have been before this axle actually wore out on us. So our initial thoughts are just pulling the seals, or not doing them at all, not doing the bearings or the seals, or just pulling the seals. We're glad we're going to go ahead and replace them. Here's our replacement parts, and Matthew says this is going to help solve some of the mystery. Well, take it out of the bag because people can't see it in the inside the bag.
It'll be an unboxing. People will love this.
Well, in this case, it's an unbagging, but I mean, let's not get technical. Okay, here's our seals. Those look comparable.
That and that are roughly the same thing.
They are. Look at that. In terms of the size of the bearings and the number of the bearings.
So, I wonder if they gave him a 10-bolt bearing for a 12-bolt axle.
I don't know. But that is definitely
That's
a problem.
Completely incorrect.
Well, I don't know. It was spinning okay. Maybe this is the reason why it's not a posi.
Wishful thinking.
Yes, I know. All right, let's compare our seals here real quick, too. I don't know which one, again, is original. But
I don't know if we'll be able to tell on that.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to tell either. But we're going to go ahead, get these bearings popped in here, get these seals popped in these axles, or in these axle tubes, and then we're going to go ahead and slide the axles back in, and we'll have it back together in no time. This has been, knock on wood, cross fingers, whatever you can do, knock on wood. This has been the best part of this project so far. All right, so we cleaned out the axle tube. We noticed there was quite a bit of debris in there, and so we kind of did a hobcob or a cob job or whatever you want to call it. Or my wife likes to call it a hobcob. Anyway, so to clean it out, so the axle tube is nice and clear. So now we've got this bearing lined up, everything. We're going to use our bearing press to get that in there. All right, sounds like we bottomed out.
Well, it looks
And
good.
we have. That's in there. And that is ready to go. All right. So the next thing is to put the seal in there.
We should prime it a little bit.
Prime it.
Yeah, with some oil or something. Some 3-in-1, you know.
This?
Yeah, it just sounds dry.
Well, we can put a little bit of wheel bearing grease in there. But you really don't have to do this.
I just don't want it to eat itself before it gets oiled.
Well, it won't, because before everything gets going, we're going to put differential oil in it. But we can grease them up just a little bit. But these aren't ones that you can pack. These aren't front wheel bearings that you can pack the grease in. So I think, here you go. That sound a little better?
Yeah, it doesn't sound dry
All right,
anymore.
so let's put a little bit of wheel bearing axle grease on here.
I think this goes on this way.
Yes, it does. All right, we'll get that lined up. And then we'll use our press again to get that one in there. Let's see. Should be same size. Yes, it is. Let you do the honors on that one. Let me hit it on this side just a little bit, kind of line that up. And just hit it square. Okay, hold on. It's not going in square. So we're going to have to hit towards the bottom. Okay.
We're going in
definitely,
top first.
Definitely not going the way it's supposed to. Okay, now we're squaring up a little bit better.
Make sure to jump in the comments and tell us how big of idiots we're being.
Or not. Tell us how brave we are for continuing to press forward. Ha!
If you want to complain too, that's
All right, you
fine.
hear that? It's bottoming out. So now we know we're in there. We took a little bit of the paint off. That's normal. Look at that. Nice new seal. Now, you want to talk about lubing it up just a little bit? Now, we're going to take a little bit of the wheel bearing axle grease and lube up this rubber seal right here, so when we slide the axle through, it won't catch it and tear this rubber boot on here at all. Look at that. All right, so now let's move to the other side. All right, so wait a minute, we got to get some little bit of grease in there to help that slide just a little bit. Take that wheel bearing out. Getting so excited about doing the first one, ready to jump on this other one, but we got to get this little bit of lubrication in the situation, little persuasion grease. Get that in there. All right, get her lined up. All right, you want to tap them?
Sure.
Tap, tap, tap-a-roo. All right, just got to get it lined up in there. Make sure it's flat and you're hitting it square.
Lest your comments start telling me I'm letting you do all the work. Can't tell.
It might be just a little bit more because we've got to get the seal in there too. All right, of course we're getting our big fat heads in the way here.
I can't tell. What do you think?
Let me come from the other side.
If it come from the side, I can't tell.
Right. I think, let me tap, it's kind of a feel thing too, so here, hold this. Let me just see, it's kind of a feel thing. You know it when you feel it. Oh yeah, you're there. That rebound and that noise, that tells you there, hold on, we gotta get a little more grease in the situation. Then you just gotta do the same thing with that seal.
I don't know. These are far easier to mess up.
Oh yeah.
We've only got one.
Yeah. Spares, we got none. Alrighty, folks. So now we're going to get that lined up and do the exact same thing. The squarer you set it, the squarer it can go in. Here you go. Do that same thing. Get your angle right so you're equal with the axle there. Oh yeah, that's going in much better than the way I did. Look at that, baby. You there? Hear that? You're there. Nice job, Matt. Nice job. All right, so we're going to, again, lube up the lip or the boot here just a little bit so these axles will slide right back in for us. I'll tell you, folks, this has been the best part so far, doing this whole thing. This is exciting.
Remember to hop in the comments and spread negativity.
You keep asking for it, son. You keep asking for
Well, you
it.
see, what your old man followers don't realize
Old
is
man
that-
followers.
is that engagement is engagement, whether it's negative or positive. A
Well,
comment's a comment.
hey, we appreciate the encouraging comments too.
So bring it on. You're only helping the monetization.
You mean the algorithm?
Hey, one leads to the other.
Hey, we appreciate you all watching this silliness that we've got going on here because, I mean, we know we're not the kings of doing this by any means, but we're showing you if two hacks like us can do it, then you can do it too. Got going in there just like that. Now we got to get this to center up. Come on, baby. There we go.
You're close enough to move the gears.
Okay, let me see what's going on there.
I haven't made it through yet.
Okay, will you come around? Not that way. Not that way. Come around the other way.
Why?
Because you're getting in front of the camera.
Oh, I see.
It's all about you can't block the audience. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, kind of work. There you go. Okay, hold it just like that. Let me get the
I don't
C-clip.
have to hold it. It's just sitting.
Okay, well, you're going to have to pull it back is what's going to happen.
Alright.
So get the C-clip in here, and then you can pull it right back. This is amazing to me. This little thing helps hold all this in place, and you're going down the road at 70, 80 miles an hour. Okay, pull straight back. Boom. It's in. All right. This is the fun part to me, is getting this stuff back together. So, let's see. Let's make sure.
Oh, no, that's usually where things go wrong.
No. Will you stop? You're Mr. Negativity.
I'm just giving your audience things to talk
No,
about.
you're not. Look, the audience is here supporting us, supporting you,
It's
getting
my
your,
channel.
well, it's your truck. We're trying to get your truck back together, so, you need the audience to help get us through. We need the audience to cheer us on like the 12th man.
What can I say? I've just seen too much internet to expect anything.
Okay, well, this isn't that internet. This
Oh,
is
yes, it
this is a family fun safe space. This is an automotive safe space, Matthew.
Oh boy. Now they're definitely going to be in the comments.
No, there's no safe space on the internet, I know, but anyway. Now, we love you all, and we thank everybody who's joined us in the past 6 months. We did finally reach monetization levels. If I can ever work out the crap with YouTube, YouTube keeps giving me a hard time. But we're going to push forward anyway. All right, Matthew, pull that back. Boom. Boom. All right, everything is ready. Now we just got to get the pin back in here. Lock that down. The pin in the little stud that holds it in. Perfect. I'm going to clean this up a little bit because this got nasty old oil and debris on it.
You know, as far as gear oil goes, this is one of the better smelling ones.
That's probably because it's gear oil from the 70s.
I don't know what they put in it now, but it smells awful.
That's that synthetic stuff. Oh, I cannot
I
stand
don't
the
know what they
smell.
synthesized to make that, but you're way off. Hold on, you are way off.
What do you mean? Did that gear fall down? Yep,
Yeah.
it did. It fell down a little bit. Okay, let's see how it slides right in between. It keeps the axles from coming together. Let me get this pin slid down in here. This is the retention pin that holds this in place. Oh, we got to lean this up. That's where the retention or the other pin can
where it
slide right
retains.
through. Okay, lock that down.
Okay.
Oh,
Quick little
let's
half
see.
inch.
Yep, that was the
socket.
half-inch thing. Get that on
I
there.
don't remember where I put it, so maybe
It's right
in
here. It's right here. Here we go. Boom.
that's half the time you spend working on cars is figuring out where did I put that.
It's always there. If you ever watch DD Speed Shop, they always say the garage floor provides.
It does.
And
You're
it does. It really does. Okay, can you keep this gear from turning? Because I got to get a little more torque on this thing. Come on. All right.
Yeah, you do that just wrong, you could lose a finger.
Yep. All right, folks. That is back together. So now we're going to switch to doing the pinion
Hold on,
seal.
my favorite part.
Ah, yes.
We're back.
Matthew and the spinners.
We are so back.
We
It actually
are.
has quite a bit more resistance to it. Yeah.
Does it? Let me see. Oh, yeah. Tighter.
It's creamy, though.
No, but that's tighter.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is definitely.
that's a better seal.
Yep, a better seal, and the bearings are holding, doing their job better since they're new, and they're the same size. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why it's tighter, because they're the same size bearings.
I mean, I don't think we'll ever figure out what the hell this is.
I'm just glad to know that this truck was not used, or this axle in that truck was not used that much with the opposite bearing setup, because that could have not lasted long or worn out pretty quick.
That might have been
so.
like a homemade posi situation.
All right, come around over here. Let me go here, and let's get this thing turned up. Ruining my wonderful axle paint job here. Hold on, we got to get it to come this way a little bit. Can you on that end? Because
yeah,
it's
I see
going to
what
hit
you
this little
mean.
brake thing here and ruin that. So,
Wouldn't be the first time.
wow,
It slid over just fine.
it did.
Oh my gosh.
Huh.
It's gonna flip before we do that.
Okay, well, folks, we're going to take a break for just a second, reposition our axle. We're going to have to loosen this up and slide over a little bit. We don't want to damage this little brake line retainer right there. All right, folks. We went ahead and took the yoke off, and as you can see, yeah, don't get too carried away. This is actually in really good shape. Look at the teeth and everything on it. So we'll be able to reuse this again. We've clearly determined already this is an underused axle in terms of the age of the vehicle.
Check that out. It's like a cork seal.
So we should be in pretty good shape. Hold on before you do that. So we're going to go ahead and get a close-up of that and let the folks at home see what we've got here before we pull this off. As you can see here, this has been on here quite a while, so there is some buildup and stuff around here and dirt and things of that nature. Look at this coming off right here.
It's actually hard to tell what it's made out of.
So that's a little bit of buildup. So we're going to get our seal puller in here, pull this out. Be careful, don't gack anything. There you go. Yep, come across on itself. You may have to work it in different places. Don't just go one direction, try to work around. Make sure you're getting that lip. Giving any?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Love to be able to pull it from there, but it wants to give. Oh, yep.
Oh, that's not good. But expected. All right. Here we go. Whoa. We got a rollaway on aisle 5.
Hey, if you treated me like that, I'd be leaving too.
So someone pulls on you with a seal puller, you're out of here.
That's right. I quit.
All right. So this bearing and stuff.
Well, on the inside,
Look at that.
not too bad.
The bearing looks really good in there. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of dirty oil and stuff, but
A little bit brake clean.
yeah, it's in pretty good shape though, I gotta admit. So I think we'll be able to keep that in there. We'll just get this cleaned up, the new seal in here, because this was definitely leaking. This we mentioned before in the last video how this spent several years leaking on the garage floor and then in storage until there was no more oil. But everything in here looks good. Edge looks good. There's no burr in here of any kind. Well, no, actually, yeah, we do need to clean that up just a little bit. There's a little bit of buildup in here, so we're going to clean that up real quick before we put the seal on to make sure we get the best seal possible on here. Yep, a little bit of buildup here on aisle 5. All right, folks, so we did a little bit of work here around the edges to clean up the mating surface to make sure everything's going to go together good, but as you can tell, the bearing and everything seems to be in good shape. We went ahead and cleaned up the yoke. The inside of this yoke on the back side where the oil and grease have been leaking. Check this out right over here. Built up all these nice little dirt curlicues. Almost looks like a old seal of some kind, but it's just dirt. Dirt and grease together that spun around into perfect little circles that we dug and cleaned out of here. So now next we're going to put this brandy new seal on here and get that mated back together, and hopefully we won't have any more axle leaks. What are you doing? Back up a little
There's
bit.
actually some cool little directional
Okay, but when you get it back close to the camera, nobody can see.
Well, I don't know that. I don't film.
Well, I am. All right, so we're going to get this back together. Now that we have this seal in here, we need to be able to hit it squarely and evenly, and so since we don't have something that we don't have the proper tools to put in one of these seals,
We're going to be hacks.
we're going to find a tool that will work. And so we got this giant 2 1/4 inch socket right here, which we can thank my father-in-law's brother Dennis, the tools that we received from his wife when we passed on, that'll help us tap this right in there. So let's get that going.
Hammer. Hey, you might want to use the mallet, honestly.
The mallet. You know what? You're right. Where's the mallet? There we go. Let's see if that'll do it. I don't know if this is going to give us enough or not. I think we may need the
You did it
hammer.
hard enough.
Yeah, give me the hammer.
I
Give
would
me the
use
ham. Give me the hammer. I'm going to use the. No, I'm going to use the mallet on you in a second. Give me the hammer.
You're gonna deafen your audience.
Well, look, they can always turn it down. Pretty much. I think I'm going to tap-a-roo it a little bit more here. All right. Now that
Looks good.
looks really good. The whole idea is to try to get it, watch out. The whole idea is to get it all on there at one time, but unfortunately, the socket still wasn't quite big enough, but it did reach the lip all the way around, which is important, so you don't bend it up, and this all sits on here good together. So, all right, let's put that on there, line that up.
Can't see where you made the mark on the stud, though.
Yeah.
And I imagine this was important.
Yes. Clean that up, please. That needs to be cleaned up. Yeah,
Did this go behind the yoke or in front of it?
it went,
It go behind it?
no, it goes in front of it. That's what keeps it on there. This nut certainly will not do that.
Okay. Do you still have the mark on the nut?
Somewhat. Yes, I do. Actually, I do.
Okay.
So that'll be good. We want that to all line up there. Any day now.
Actually, if you clean it enough, you realize it's got two different types of material.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of material are we talking?
Oh.
Well, that's interesting.
I don't know which side faces out.
Okay, so it looks polished on the inside there, and then here it looks like polished on the outside there. So
I'm thinking
What-
polished on the outside goes in.
yes, because that's what's going to made up with that surface right there. So that's the way it was right there. So now we're going to get this on here and get your socket and everything that we had still on there in that breaker bar.
And now the question is how far to tighten it.
And it's going to tighten it till it comes around and meets up there.
So, where is it?
Just go around a couple of times. You're going to have to at least go around a couple of times.
Sure about that?
Yep. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, take it off. All right.
That was not 2 full rotations.
All right, we are not there yet. There's the mark. So that mark's got to get, the mark is there. It's got to get to here. Hold on. We're going to have to do something to get this to stop spinning around on us. So hold on just 1 minute. So we got the yoke back on here. One of the things that we did was we did a mark here, which I know is very difficult and possible to see on the camera. And we did a mark here with the nut to make sure that it lined back up after we got it around here the required number of times. Unfortunately, we didn't have paint or anything that we could use to kind of line that up, so we used a marker, which makes it very hard to see for all of you, and it certainly made it difficult for all of us. But it's lined up on here now, and we are going to make sure once we get the axle in the truck, our goal right now is to get the axle in the truck and to then take it to a shop to make sure the axle and the drive shaft and everything are properly aligned. We could do that. A lot of people do that, but we've got a shop up the road that there's experts. And if we're going to take this on this road trip that we are planning, we want to make sure it's right because that's a long distance road trip and we do not want any premature wear. All right, folks. So now we have prepped the surface and we're ready to put the diff cover back on. As you can tell, we cleaned up, bring it down here to me. We cleaned up the diff cover here, got it all prepped and cleaned off, and we've put a good coating of RTV on it and let it set up just a little bit. And now we're going to get it on there and we're going to tighten this diff cover down, and hopefully we'll never see the inside of this axle again unless, of course, we want to put a locker on it, which I know we said in the beginning we were going to put a locker on it, but we've decided
No.
for expediency and cost, we are not going to do a locker right now. So we just got to get this all bolted down, and our 12-bolt axle will be sealed up, ready to go in the Silverado. So we have our mishmash of different diff cover bolts We have ones that we originally took off that fitted, and then of course we had to get some replacements, and that's those over there that haven't been painted. There's a few that actually are replacements that were painted already. Watch this one right here. This is the one where we had to retap. That
I
was,
thought that was this one.
nope, I think it was down here, either over here in this area, but look at that. He even knows to cross them over, just like he's putting on a tire. Okay, well, then just cross over from where you were. We're going to get these all tightened down. And then our little axle sands some gear oil and putting the drums on, which we're going to wait until we get it on the truck, is ready to go on the truck. This is exciting for us. I mean, this thing's had birthdays. It's already ready to go almost into middle school, as long as we've had it. Might even be ready to have its own driver's license.
Well, it's older than I am, so it's been eligible for that for.
Well, I mean, since we've had it, you know.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm just counting that, so yeah.
Not that long
If
away from
if
it.
you put it in for, you know, put it down for how old it actually is, since it was in a new truck, I mean, it's, you know, it better be on its way to
It would
saving for
be-
retirement.
Okay, which.
What was it, a
How old are
78?
you again?
Hey, whoa, no, let's not talk about me.
However old you are minus 12. So
Minus 12. Okay, well, no, we don't have to talk about it that way. That's
40
what year?
something.
What year was the truck?
78.
Okay, so that's 35 years, right? Or 45 years. 45
Wish it was
years.
35.
45 years. No, wait a minute. 78. No, that's 47 years. And I'm an accountant. Oh,
Oh,
God.
jeez. We're in
Okay.
trouble.
No. I was thinking.
Audit the auditors.
Right. Hey, auditors just have to be close. And I am an auditor, so I was close. Well, folks, there you go. It's actually not the same day, but at the end of this video, when we were putting the diff cover back on, the camera died. That's what happens when you don't make sure you have enough power. We hope you enjoyed this video, and you can click on the next one here and watch us as we finally put the rear end in the back of this truck. And stay tuned to see more from me, Earl with an E.